Welcome back to another episode of the Affinity Insurance Podcast. I have Alyssa Wilcox and Nicole Dean with me again, and we're talking about something very interesting, and that is AI and insurance. AI is infiltrating every single part of our lives, it feels like, and insurance is no exception. So, we're going to talk about what that looks like, what we're kind of predicting some of those effects could be, and what business owners really need to understand about how AI is going to be integrated into the insurance policy. So, Alyssa, I'm going to start with you. I think this is a really interesting idea around errors and omissions. We obviously have policies that cover these things, but how are insurance currently defining error and omission when AI or automated systems contribute to a loss or bad outcome? So it's not a human making the error, which would typically be covered under certain policies, but their AI tool did. How is that going to kind of all flesh out?
Yeah, well, I would say the AI tool is, powered by humans. So I'm sure there's plenty of errors there. This is the new frontier of insurance. So before cyber was kind of like the thing like, oh, how do we handle this? Now we're running into AI, and I don't really think that the insurance industry has really built up, parameters, policies, exclusions yet for using AI in your business. So I think that, if you use it heavily, it's important to kind of like double check and make sure that, check with your carrier if they have any guidelines, risk and safety things that can use for preventative. But I think also whenever you are using AI, know that it is a tool, but in the end, make sure that you are reviewing everything and confirming that the information is correct before you send it out into the world. So it's a great tool, but we still need to rely on our brains and our expertise when we're, using these tools.
Nicole, what types of businesses do you think are most at risk for AI professional liability, basically, but might not even realize it? So maybe it's companies and types of industries that they're using a lot of AI tools and they don't realize that could potentially get them in trouble down the road.
It could be a number of different businesses. That's why it's really important to make sure that if you are going to be utilizing AI or even like a third party, that you want to make sure that you're verifying their credentials, that you're drafting strong contracts. I mean, AI seems to be a mechanism in all different types of things. You can't, like Alyssa said, you can't rely just specifically on the AI itself. There's a lot of human error. So you want to make sure that you're maintaining like the human insight, oversight, monitoring performance, and then make sure you're utilizing monitoring tools as well too.
How should business owners vet those third parties? So you kind of mentioned that they should have strong contracts, things like that. How should they vet them or tech providers to avoid, being held liable for potential errors, in an automated system?
Reviewing financial statements, things like that.
Get a certificate of insurance. Like if you're working with a third party, always make sure that they are fully insured. And you can add endorsements like additional insured, which will cover you for any error, claims that they cause. You can also get a waiver of subrogation so that, if you use their tools, can't come back on you. Always make sure that you're working with fully insured third parties. And yeah, I think that when you're working with folks in your business, I think it's important to vet them. Do you like and trust these people? If you don't, what kind of work relationship are you going to have? Do they have a good reputation? Ask around and make sure that this is the type of business partner you want to bring in.
Last question for you guys around this. Do you think we'll see new forms of professional liability insurance that are specifically for AI and automation? So right now, when you think about like errors and omissions policies, like it's kind of gray what they'll cover when it turn in terms of AI. Do you think we're going to see actual policies developed for these tools and for businesses that are using them on a really broad scale?
I'm trying to think about like, claims that have arisen from the use of AI. And, I'm in the Bay Area. So the thing that comes to mind is the driverless taxis. While not AI, I mean, it is AI on some level, right? Fortunately, people have been killed and hurt from these tech advancements. So, I think time will tell. Certainly we'll start to see, and I think carriers love to look at the large numbers. So if more claims start arising happening in a certain specific area, then yeah, I think we definitely will. But I'm sure that as things the AI continues to evolve, we will start to see some stuff come down the pipe.
Well, thank y'all both so much for your expertise. It's a really interesting world out there as AI integrates with all kinds of parts of your business, and making sure that it is covered is really, really important. So if you're looking for more advice or strategies on how to make sure you're covered, both from an automation and AI perspective, as well as just general liability in your business, BOPs, things like that, we'd love to chat with you. You can find more information in the description box, and we'll see you next month.